welcome back to the Citizen channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. On our preview show of a tricky little game coming up. I think it probably wouldn't have been looked upon as being that tricky about a couple of weeks ago, but things change. How quickly things change, that's for sure. We're going to look forward to Leicester against City. Well, Leicester City against Manchester City. Let's not be churlish about this. 29th of October, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. I'll be down there. If you spot me, guys, if you're going, come up and say hello. It'd be great to see you. 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Match day 12, season 22-23, part 1. Yes, as we get near the end of it, don't we? Not many now. Only, was it 4 league games before the break, the World Cup, unfortunately. Although if we win them all, I'll be far happier. On BT Sports, this one. So please, guys, if you are new to the channel, press that subscribe. I do everything City, past, present, and forever. Good, the bad, and the ugly. Everything I do on the channel. Lots of different stuff as well. So if there's something you don't really fancy, there might be something else you do fancy, because it's like a magazine vlog. Lots of different things. So I'll try and keep you informed and entertained if I can. So please join us. Be great if you could subscribe. Spread the word, guys. Be much appreciated. Please make an old City fan very happy. It's great to get views, of course it is, but it's nice to get a thumbs up as well. Just press that button. It's much appreciated. Say it makes an old City fan very happy. Right, on to the general odds on this game. I don't condone gambling when the fun stop and all that. To win the Premier League, yes, after our disappointment against Liverpool, we moved out just slightly, didn't we? But we're back. We're back into 1 to 5 on now. Obviously, say what difference a few days makes in football. But of course, the Liverpool setback is forgotten after our Brighton victory. That's how it usually works with the bookies. Keep covering the bums, aren't they? Let's be honest about it. Interesting on Leicester, say a top half finish for Leicester. You can get 4 to 1, and I can see, all right, hopefully against us they'll come unstuck, but I can see Leicester climbing up that table over the next couple of games, and obviously after the World Cup having a good tilt at it. So I think that's not a bad price on Leicester to finish in the top half, 4 to 1. Match odds themselves, City are 2 to 7 on, Leicester are 9 to 1, and the draw is 5 to 1. Previously, well, we played them last season on the 11th of September, so it was early doors, match day 4. City were in 7th spot at that point in time. Leicester were in 9th. Our team that day: Edison, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundogan, Bernardo, Jesus, Torres, and Grealish. Torres seems to be a long time since he was around. Torres and Grealish. And my excerpts from my match report of that day: a 1-0 victory for City. Yeah, so a little bit tight. I don't expect anything less this time. Reading from the excerpt: well, a lively first half, I said, and City dominated, but Leicester always looked dangerous on their lunges forward. Defensive Leicester were getting bodies in the way. There's at least 6 different City players had attempts on goal. And when there wasn't a block, they had Schmeichel, not there this year, making the saves, 1 or 2 good, the other pretty basic. Leicester's best chance came early on, but Walker and a brave Edison, who may need to see a dentist, kept Leicester at bay. I'm sure he did. Fortunately, City didn't rue the chances that we didn't capitalise on, fortunately. Second half, Leicester quickly hit the bar. That was a bit of a problem. Then Vardy scores, but it's offside, thankfully. And City took control again, but Leicester always quick to play down the middle and worry us. Torres with 2 chances should at least work Schmeichel better, but Sniffer Bernardo on 63 minutes pounced on a rebound from a Cancelo shot to score from a tight angle. Leicester struggled then until after their subs Iheanacho and Lookman caused City problems at the back, and Edison had to be alert and a great block to deny Leicester on about 76 minutes. So apart from a couple of Hail Marys at the end, Leicester were pretty much out of it. City missed 2 late opportunities to seal it as Fernandinho went wide, then Grealish finished poorly, went through. So, yeah, a little bit tighter than we'd hoped, but a 1-0 victory it was. That left our overall record at their place. We'd played 52 in the league, won 18, drawn 14, and lost 20. So let's close that gap this time. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Who's in charge? Well, referee, we've got Mr. Robert Jones reffing this one. His Lionel's Eddie Smart, so not so. Nick Greenhalgh. 4th official is Graham Scott, and on the dreaded VAR, it seems to be running the games these days. I think the refs are taking a back seat. Chris Kavanagh is on VAR, and obviously sat there putting his pot noodle together and his penguin biscuit afterwards. His assistant is Simon Long. So our Leicester doing well. We'd done this a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't looking very good, was it? It still doesn't look good on paper, but things are turning round. They sit 17th on 11 points, but all their 3 victories have come in their last 5 games. They've won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1. And they appear finally to have turned a corner. I mean, they did actually sit bottom of the table before their most recent win at Wolves last weekend. They comprehensively beat them, 19th place Wolves. So Wolves are having a bit of a struggle themselves, 4-0. Significantly, Leicester were actually second best for most of the game, but it was a welcome clean sheet and 4 goals from 4 shots on target. So they had 5 shots in total, Leicester, put 4 in. Hopefully we don't see that sort of finishing against us this weekend. So it was an impressive return, wasn't it? 4 goals from 4 shots on target. We'd take that. And of course, well, that led to Leicester having the first back-to-back Premier League wins for the first time since last May. And of course, Brendan Rodgers has found his chances of being the next manager out easing just a little bit, although he's still rated third most likely to lose his job behind Jesse Marsh and Hasenhüttl. Scorers, yeah, Maddison's doing well. He leads their scoring charts with 6 goals. Barnes has got 4, Daka 3, Tielemans 2. Some good names here. Vardy, though, he's only on 1, but he's not a regular starter. But he does have 4 assists to his name, so he is making an impression on and off the bench as well. So there's perhaps his life in the old dog yet, and we're not. We don't like Vardy. I don't like Vardy because he always seems to do something against us. 3 clean sheets in the last 3 games for keeper Danny Ward. That's it. That's him turned the corner after, let's face it, a pretty dodgy start covering from Schmeichel. People were wondering why the hell they let Schmeichel went, because it was looking a bit dodgy, but as I said, 3 clean sheets in a row, that would have done his confidence no harm. Brendan Rodgers doesn't mind a game against City, although you have to go back to 2018 for the last time he beat us at the King Power, although of course he has beat us at the Etihad since. So things do appear brighter for Leicester, and the mood around the training ground is, I'm sure, more buoyant than it was just a couple of weeks ago. And I think despite their lowly position, it will be a tricky trip for City. This, get a victory there, I'll be more than happy this week. As ever, though, the match all decides on such a quality Manchester City team. It all decides on Pep and the form of our City boys, who, let's face it, travelled back from Dortmund after what was a less convincing group-winning stalemate in the end. But, we've not looked overly convincing, I don't think, personally, for certainly 3 or 4 games. So let's have a look at the decisions after that Dortmund game. This is a hell of a team to pick this week, guys. We've got guys who were poorly. We've got with fevers. We've got guys who might be playing as though with a little knock. And I'm sort of mainly thinking Haaland here, because he's the big worry for me. Whether he actually played against Dortmund when he shouldn't have played against Dortmund. I think Hart ruled head in this one. All right, he can tell the coaching staff how he feels. The coaching staff physically knows certain things, but they don't know everything. I'm not sure Haaland should have played against Dortmund, and it has put a big question mark over him for this game against Leicester for me. Right, let's have a look. Who's going to come in off the bench? I think, despite people shouting for a Tiger to get another game, Ederson's got to come back for this. I'm 99% sure. If I'm wrong, but I'll put my head on the block. That's what I'm here to do. I'll put my head above the parapet. And Ederson definitely will start this game. Of course, KDB will come back in for this. I don't think there's any doubt in that. Bernardo, who actually revitalised the second half against Dortmund, will definitely start in this. And another guy who revitalised defensively as well, although it's mainly the fact that I think with Pep's tactics was switched a little bit at half-time. Akanji, I can't see Akanji not starting this, but when I say I can't see Akanji starting this, he's done nothing wrong not to justify himself starting it. But I'm not overly sure. He should come in this off the bench, but I might have a little surprise in my starting 11. Who won't be starting? Who's a definite non-starter? Well, I'm going to have to say Alvarez, unless there is a problem with Haaland. Alvarez for me. had a chance. I don't think the team was firing against Dortmund, so it's a bit unfair to sort of judge him on that. But he didn't play very, very well. And let's say Mahrez. I mean, we can all agree that Mahrez isn't going to start. He's only started three Premier League games out of 11 so far. Anyway, so there's a problem there. We know there's a problem there. Pep knows there's a problem there, and I don't think he'll be starting in this one. And dare I say, if Cancelo hasn't recovered from his fever, but I think Pep will want to start Cancelo. But for me, I'll be quite happy with the other defensive cover we got if Cancelo doesn't play. But again, when I pick my 11, I'm not picking it what I want. I'm picking it what I think Pep might pick, which you've got to look at it from that side. Haaland, I don't believe is 100%. I hope he is, and I hope he does play. And as I say, like Cancelo, Haaland was supposed to have a little bit of a fever as well. He looked okay. He looked fine. You can only tell so. He didn't look all red-faced anyway, did he, when we looked at him? But it'll be interesting to see. So let's have a look at my 11 then. This is my 11. I want to let me know what you think. I am totally unconvinced about this. I only got 7 of the Dortmund team right. Pretty pathetic. There were reasons, of course. And the same with this. I'm doing this before Pep's press conference, so we might know a little bit more about if temperatures have dropped, etc., with people like Haaland and Cancelo. So I'm doing this on the basis of what we know and making certain assumptions. But I'm not convinced I'll get more than 7 or 8 right at this 11, in fairness. So my 11, Ederson will start. Cancelo possibly will. But don't think Gomez. I don't think Gomez will play. I just don't think Gomez is going to start. This Pep's not been starting in Premier League games. I don't expect him to play. But Aki might miss out on this one. I mean, he didn't have the greatest game at left back against Dortmund, but it wasn't just him. It was, I think the defence in general played pretty poorly. We kept backtracking. There's no tackles going in. And when we're not one-on-one, it only takes one little movement and we're beaten, isn't it? So, yeah, although I want Aki to play because he's done very little wrong, and I thought he had a good second half and didn't do too bad in the first half against Dortmund. I just don't see Aki being in for this one. So perhaps we've got Stones again at right back. Diaz, Laporte. I think he'll link up Diaz and Laporte again, Pep. And I think, as I said, if the fever's gone down, I think Cancelo will play. I think Akanji and Aki deserve a start. Certainly Akanji does, but where? I'm not too sure, but I'll be happy. If either of those or both of those are in the team. Of course, you got Rodri. I don't think there's any reason to put Gundo in instead of Rodri, for instance. Then you got KDB and Bernardo. I must be shoo-ins as far as a midfield. But obviously, it all depends on whether we're going to use a false 9. It all depends on whether Haaland's going to play up front. I think Grealish will come back in. I think he will. As I said, we've already decided that Mahrez isn't. So I do expect, if there is no Haaland, I expect Gundogan to come into the equation as well, rather than Alvarez. I don't think Alvarez is going to get a start in this, and I don't think, of course, Mahrez, you can just forget Mahrez, put him to one side. So there you go. You might know a little bit more than me if you've listened to Pep's press conference. But there's my whys and wherefores of it, what this starting 11 is. So I'm going to give you this 11. As I said, if I get 7 or 8 of this right, I'll be more than happy. It's a bit of a weird one. I've done this without Haaland. So, yeah, we're going to have rotating false 9 vibes going on with this one as far as I can see. But if Haaland plays, then obviously people like, I'm going to put Gundo in this team. Gundo will probably step out or step down. So my final 11, guys, after all my machinations, Ederson, Stones, Diaz, Laporte, Gomez. Yeah, that's probably Cancelo, but I'll risk Gomez. No, I'm going to put, sorry, it's my fault. I'm going to put Cancelo in there. I don't think Gomez is going to play. I'll alter that while I'm doing this now. I've looked at it. Stones, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundo, KDB. Don't forget this is without Haaland. Bernardo, Foden and Grealish, and we'll have a switching, rotating, triple diamond, false 9, etc., going on with this. So please let me know your 11, guys. Be very interested to see what do you think. As I say, you may know a little bit better about fitness, etc., watching this than I do when I've recorded this on the Wednesday, so a couple of days before Pep's press conference. Please check out my little odds show as well, which will be available after this. See what value we've got. Player ratings. There won't be a live one this week, guys. So I'm going down to Leicester, so obviously I'm in work the following day, so I won't be able to put a live one out. But there will be a player ratings show. So look out for that. There will be a talking point show, of course. And please let me know your thoughts, and thank you for your support. Be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, I'll ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Bye for now.